fuck up. When he came out on the mat, he's recognized internationally by a lot of these people. He's probably the most recognized wrestler for the United States since Dan Gable. Great technician. He appears to have cut open that ear. He had it taken care of through the training camp and some early competition, and he evidently opened it up a little bit. We stopped action, but we'll be back resuming here shortly. The clock runs up instead of running down. You'll see that seconds don't tick off, they tick on. There's Schultz, United States, in on the single leg. Varaev countering. A lot of twisting and turning, but no points being scored here. Oh, nice job by Varaev. He comes up with control, gets another point for the takedown. I think this will be an upset if Dave Schultz, United States, gets beat. He was an Olympic champion in 1984. He's been a world champion for the USA. Matter of fact, won that championship right here in the Soviet Union. So he's wrestled before these people. He's experienced, and he has a lot of poise. Adlan Varaev, only having won the European championships for the Soviet Union. They got a couple young wrestlers in their lineup. He's one of them, but he certainly wasn't over-impressed by David Schultz's credentials before coming out here on the mat. He's already taking a 2-0 lead. There we see the blood on David Schultz's ear. He has cut that open. Coach Gable coming out to take a look at it. Cleaning up the mat. David Schultz for the United States, just taking the job as assistant coach this coming year at the University of Wisconsin. He had been out at Stanford for a considerable period of time, serving there as assistant coach along with his brother Mark. Mark Schultz did not have a great tournament here. He got sick. Unfortunately, he also was a world and Olympic champion, and we won't be seeing him in the championship action coming up. Schultz attempting to penetrate on Varaev. 1 minute remaining. 3 minutes in this first period. Varaev using a front headlock. That's kind of a twist. David Schultz has one of the most awesome front headlocks in international wrestling, and right now he's having one applied to him. They should stop this very shortly. No action. David Schultz, 27 years old. People wondering how long he's going to stay in wrestling. I'm sure he wants to go to the 1988 Olympics. Varaev only 24. The Soviets having a very predictable style. They take that stance, put their head down low, prevents you from penetrating in on them, can become very frustrating even for people who have been in the sport for a long time. It's hard for you to penetrate on the legs, which are your percentage techniques in wrestling. They're very powerful hips, able to attack out of it. David Schultz looked at worldwide as one of the greatest technicians. A lot of people talk about him. Here he is on a single leg. I had talked with Dave earlier and kind of wanted to get his response as to that great recognition he has received from his peers.
Ignorance on the part of those other people. I really don't feel like I'm that good, you know. It amazes me when I get into matches sometimes and the guys fall down for me and let me do this stuff to them. But, I don't know.
Did you learn it on your own? Did you pick it up by being in a lot of competition, associated with a lot of coaches, or was there a specific method by which you came to that type of those types of techniques? Because you do have a lot of technique. I mean, even I would say that.
Oh, thanks. I've had hundreds of coaches. It's kind of laissez-faire, though. The only system is just that I love it and I listen to people and watch people, and the same way you do, you know. I'm interested and I just keep trying to improve. That's all. I owe a lot to these people. They've taught me an awful lot. Not directly, sometimes by doing it to me, but I owe it to hundreds of people. I've had hundreds of coaches.
And a lot of people right now listening to David Schultz, but right now he's behind 2-0 in this match. Adlan Varaev of the Soviet Union attacking first here again. I don't think I've ever seen Dan Gable as excited in the corner as I saw him during the break. He was chastising David Schultz, I'm sure, telling him that he's giving too much respect to this very young Soviet opponent. He should be dominating the match, and he's not. Schultz coming up with a turn. There it is. Very nice crotch flip off that attack by Varaev. David Schultz of the United States will receive 2 points. He turned Varaev's back to the mat. He's going to get 2 points for that action. Looks like he might try it again, although Varaev has stepped inside of the leg there, and he may block it off, but Schultz will try the move again. Well, there it is. Well, they're giving 2 to Varaev. They're giving 2 to Varaev. Matt Judge and Matt Chairman not agreeing with the referee's call. 2 points. 2 points. Score very confusing here. I looked at the Matt Chairman and the Matt Judge's score. They gave 2 for Schultz, putting a lot of pressure here. The fans wanting to have this call potentially dangerous on that armbar, trying to turn him. This is what makes David Schultz so tough. When he has to come on, when he has to put the pressure, he can really come after you. Official right now calling for the match to be stopped. Right now on the scoreboard, they have 2 and 2. They've made a mistake. I think the head scorekeeper here put up the 2 points. Although I've been fooled before by what has been called. Right now, I think that David Schultz of the United States should be ahead 4-2 in this match. He turned Varaev of the Soviet Union to his back twice. Should receive 2 points for each one of those. The officials right now having a conference. Varaev did a lot of fighting there in that last little flurry. He's a little bit tired. Trying to decide, and there it is. 4-2 for David Schultz of the United States. That's what it should have been. Soviet fans upset. They, of course, want their countrymen to be ahead, to give him the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes hard to argue with these Soviet fans. They know their sport. Minute and 5 seconds remaining here in the second period. Dave Schultz coming back in this match, down 2-0 at the end of the first period, showing what makes him one of the toughest competitors in international wrestling in the world. He needs to keep this pressure. He needs to keep this pressure. We're 1 minute away, 50 seconds away from another gold medal, second for the United States. Dave Schultz brought along his wife, Nancy, and his baby, Alexander. Give his son an early first-hand look. He's only 3 months old. He's got to be proud of what Daddy's doing right now. Here, a caution being called against Schultz. He isn't being very aggressive, trying to protect that lead. You got to be careful in international wrestling. Protect the lead, and all of a sudden you end up behind. But he did a lot of work there to score those 4 points to get that lead. I guess he deserves a little breather if he can afford it. 28 seconds remaining. 28 seconds remaining in the second and final period. Varaev dropping down very quickly to try to get that gut wrench. He's got it locked up. He's got it locked up. Schultz needs to counter this. He can't afford this two-point turn against him. 15 seconds. 15. Almost got it. Schultz fighting very hard to prevent that gut wrench. If you've not been in this move, you don't know how much pressure you are getting on those ribs. Time running down. There it is. There it is. A great match for David Schultz of the United States. He will become the second gold medalist. Acknowledging the crowd a little bit. Dave Schultz of the United States winning the gold medal here at 163 pounds. Another medal to add to his Olympic gold and his world gold that he has received in this sport. I'm sure it'll make him even more popular in the Soviet Union. I saw them earlier coming up and getting autographs from David Schultz. Second gold medalist for the United States. Here's a look at that turn that scored the points. Takes Varaev of the Soviet Union across his back. That's the move that won it for him. He did it twice. He did it twice. Won the match. David Schultz, second gold medalist for the US of A. We'll be back in a moment.